Hey guys, welcome back to the Jay Smith Down Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jay A. Once again, here recapping some great NFL Week 14 action. It's been had a lot of tight divisional matchups going on, and that was big playoff implications. So we'll get into that here on the podcast. But again, yeah, great weekend of football and more weeks to come. So we're looking forward to that here. But make sure you guys check us out here on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, share. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite podcast. That's where we are located, so you can find us there. I think and the big matchup that everybody was really looking forward to yesterday was the 49ers and the Bucs. Brock Purdy, the last pick in the NFL draft this year, Mr. Irrelevant, as they say, versus Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. You know, when I tell you the score, you're like, what? Yeah, the 49ers win 35-7. They just blow right through the Bucs. It felt like it was like a 40-50 nothing game, to be honest, the way they just kept just controlling the game and just beating up Tampa Bay. Brock Purdy, I mean, he had an amazing game. Finished 16-21, 185 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. First quarterback to do that since 1950. And it's just amazing game by him. He showed poise, composure in the pocket, and he just great leadership there. I mean, for a rookie, I mean, he didn't get razzled up. He didn't get he didn't let the pressure get to him, of the game, the implications and things like that. He just went out there, executed the game plan, and got the win. He played great in the football game. Also Christian McCaffrey had a big game. Deebo Samuel as well. So, it just all around a great effort from the 49ers offensively, and the fact that they were just able to accomplish what they did against a good Tampa Bay defense. Despite the offense being so just discombobulated this year, the defense has still been playing well for Tampa Bay, but the 49ers were just able to gash right through them. And so it was a very fun game to watch for Brock Purdy's sake. I'm just a big fan of him and what he's done the past 2 weeks here, and just coming in as a rookie and taking over the starting job of a possible Super Bowl contending team, and not letting that pressure get to your head, and not letting it create fear inside of you. And that's the thing I have to commend Brock Purdy on right there. Just able to have that poise and composure. Like he's a 10-year vet. He's out there playing like he's a 10-year vet, and he's a rookie. I mean, making these kind of throws and running the offense to get everybody set, and just controlling the game, managing the game, and just having control of that offense there. I mean, it's amazing. You can tell the guys there love playing with him, and they feel like he's doing a great job. Stepping in for Garoppolo and Lance. As both of them went down to injuries. Of course, Garoppolo came in after Lance got injured early on in the year, and he's been the starter ever since then. He's been playing some great football, but got injured last week, and he just, opened up the way for Brock Purdy to enter in and become the starting quarterback. And I'm just really impressed with how, again, just the way the 49ers are game playing for him to have success, and the way they've done it the past 2 games. Against some decent NFL defenses like the Dolphins and the Bucs. So that's what I thought was really interesting there. And the offensive line was just playing physical. They were pushing people off the ball at the line of scrimmage, and just great football you like to see there in Santa Clara, out there at Levi's Stadium. And just it was raining kind of too. That kind of misty weather, and just perfect type of game to play some physical football. That's what the 49ers did. And I love the game plan. Great execution right there by the team, and great game planning there by Kyle Shanahan and the offensive staff. As well, I got to give credit to D'Amico Ryans also. He's done a great job this year, again, leading the NFL's #1 defense like they've had the last 5-6 years now in a row, it seems like. And they once again just had a great defensive output against Tom Brady and the Bucs offense that has just been downright putrid this whole season. And just the way that, again, just getting after the quarterback, a lot of pass breakups there in the middle of the field, and Evans and Brady weren't even on the same page, and had a lot of miscues there. So just not a good day for the Bucs on offense. Tom Brady, you can see, was very visibly frustrated. with his receivers, and they just couldn't get anything going at all. And this is if you're a Tampa Bay fan, this is concerning because it's been like this for a good portion of the season. They were on a bit of a slump, and then they started getting some wins, and then it kind of started back. So I don't know what exactly the issue is per se with the Bucs right now, but it is something internal, I believe, and and it's affecting their play on the field. And so whatever it is, they got to figure it out because now they still lead the NFC South division at 5-8, which shows you how horrible the division is. But either way, they still lead the division at 5-8. One game. I'm sorry, no, 6-7. I mean 6-7. At 6-7, they lead the division at 6-7. With the Falcons and the Panthers both are 5-8 as well. So one game behind them. And so that's the big thing I see there. So that's a still tight race for the NFC South crown. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for the next couple of weeks. And the Bucs will still have to play the Panthers and the Falcons over the next last couple of weeks here in the season. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Very big divisional games coming up. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I was really impressed by how the San Francisco was able to attack, and Brandon Ayuk and all those guys just running wild against that defense. I mean, it's like they were going on air, pretty much. I mean, the Bucs just weren't there defensively. There's a lot of holes and miscues and, just mistakes that were made. So, the 49ers continue their winning ways. And the Bucs, they fall. So now they're 6-7 on the year. So as I mentioned earlier, so again, just interesting to watch out for over these next couple of weeks. But again, I just want to shout out to Brock Purdy, his family. This kid's been through a lot, and being the last pick in the NFL draft, nobody thought he would ever see the field his first season, and he has, and he's played phenomenal. I'm a big fan of him. He's an underdog type of guy. I love those underdog type of guys. He's got a great story, and the fact that he's able to come in and just do what he did, in an NFL game under the lights against the greatest quarterback of all time on the other sideline. That's to me. If that was me, I mean, I don't know what I would do. But he just again showed great character, great leadership, maturity, and those are the type of guys you want on your squad, whether it's for immediate access or for the future, for long term, and so the 49ers found themselves a gem in Brock Purdy. I'm just going to say that. So, great shout out to John Lynch and that front office for picking him in the draft, and having those coaches there to develop him. Brian Greasy being the quarterback's coach, who the 49ers actually got out of the broadcast booth, and they brought him in this year to be the quarterback's coach, which I think has been tremendous as far as developing both Garoppolo and Brock Purdy. So that's another thing people don't talk about. I mean, that's huge. When you can have coaches on your staff that are able to, that they've played the position, they've been in the games, in the broadcast booth. So you have multiple lanes of experience and avenues of experience, and they're able to provide that insight, and to help develop your players, which is huge. So I think that's a big thing right there for the 49ers. What they have going is just great, and hopefully they can continue it moving forward into the last couple weeks of the season and into the postseason. Unfortunately, though, Deebo Samuel got injured in the contest. They said it's an ankle injury. Don't know exactly what it could be, but the expectations that he'll miss at most around 6 weeks. So the rest of the season, obviously, he'll miss. Possibly some of the postseason, depending on how far the 49ers go and how they finish the season out. So, that's just something to keep an eye on as we move out through the last couple games of the season. But, man, you hate to see it. They had to bring the card out, and it was just sad to see, but the way San Francisco responded after that, because that can be a tough emotional time, being a former player myself, and you see when your teammates get hurt like that, it can kind of mess with your mind. I don't think people understand that, with players. And Greg Olsen talked about this on the broadcast yesterday. It's like, it's hard to come to, just to snap back into the game, after one of your teammates, one of your guys, one of your brothers, that you love, and he's hurt, and that can kind of get in your head and throw you off your game. But the San Francisco stayed focused, they stayed relentless, and they continue to play the game the way that they played it. They continue to get after the Bucs and just just kill all hope that Tampa Bay and Tom Brady had. So great game plan there, great execution by those players. Kudos to the 49ers for getting the win there. But also Sunday night football matchup, another big game with playoff implications with the Chargers and the Miami Dolphins. So Mike McDaniel, Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill facing Justin Herbert and the Bolts. And what was a close matchup, but the defense really dominated for the Chargers. Even though they're missing some key players, Derwin James, Joey Bosa on the defensive side of football, Joseph Day at defensive tackle, they were still able to come in and kind of stifle the Dolphins' offense. Tua Tagovailoa had only 25 yards passing in the first half of that matchup last night. Not good. Not what you would expect out of a Miami team that's looked very explosive this year, a lot of firepower, and again, giving a lot of credit to Mike McDaniel and the job he's done in his first year as head coach of the Dolphins, what he's been able to do with those guys and bringing them in there and building around his quarterback, putting the right pieces around his quarterback. But just the last couple games just haven't looked good. They played, the best defense in the NFL, the 49ers, and then you play the Chargers, who also have a great defense themselves. And so you're seeing now with the Dolphins, who've had they've looked a little suspect the last couple weeks, to put into terms. You're talking about, and they play a fairly easy portion of their schedule for most of the year. So now they're getting into these gritty type of games that these are tests. These are the games that you're testing to see, can my team compete? Can we win these type of football games that are going to be played? These type of games are going to be played in January in postseason play. This shows you how far we've come as a team, as a franchise. Are we going to be able to go out there and compete? And be physical and get after it. And they couldn't do it. The offense just did not look that well. Last night, and the Bolts just took advantage of that. Justin Herbert, made some big plays, having both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen available, which seems like forever. It's like that's never the case. Like one of them's always hurt, and then the other one's playing, and then one, it's like, or they're both hurt. But they were both healthy and active in the game last night on Sunday Night Football, and it was a great thing for the Chargers that they pick up the win, 23-17. So. Again, I honestly think that the Chargers, if they can continue their if they can just eke out some more wins, they can make the playoffs. But they need to get some guys back, healthy off of injured reserve. And I just think that's going to matter in the end, because the postseason play is so much different. It's faster, it's harder. It's just a different atmosphere than a regular season game. So the thing about it is, for me, if LA can get these guys healthy and get them back on the field, then they can have a good chance to make a postseason appearance. And for the Dolphins' sake, you have to wonder, can they get back on track? And because they still got to play the Patriots, as well. So their defense has been very solid too. So you're starting to see them playing these hard defenses. These gritty teams. And, the question is, again, can you win these type of games? Because it's not always going to be peachy and sunshine and just airing it out all game long. And so you're getting into December, which is the tough part of the NFL. I feel like the toughest part of the NFL season. So that is what I feel like is the toughest part of the NFL season. Is December football. It's hard. It's cold outside. You gotta be able to throw the football, but also be able to run the ball at the same time. So it's one of those things where you love to see it as a fan and you love to play in it as a player. And so that's interesting to see how that's gonna mature going into the rest of the season there for Miami. So there's something to look out for. But in other news, again, AFC West matchup with the Broncos and the Chiefs. The Chiefs take this game. Patrick Mahomes, another crazy pass. He just a flicker to Jerick McKinnon, and he scores on like a 50-something yard touchdown pass from Mahomes. I mean, I don't understand. Patrick Mahomes is like, I do not know. He's just like a cheat code. He casually just, he's not even looking. He scrambles out the pocket. He just flicks a pass to McKinnon, and McKinnon takes it all the way for a touchdown. I know it's against the Broncos, but still, the Broncos have a good defense. But again, Patrick Mahomes, what are you going to do? He's making plays like that. It's nothing you can do. And so they get the win there. The Broncos actually made it competitive. They were scoring points. Jerry Jeudy had a big game, 3 touchdowns. Russell Wilson had a good game as well, but he had to leave the game due to a concussion injury, so he's now in the concussion protocol. So that's just something to keep an eye out for there if you're a Broncos fan. And they moved to 3-10 on the season. So not good there. It's been a very bad year for Denver. Obviously they made the big trade, trying to get Russell Wilson in there to make that splash. They think they found their quarterback finally after years of just the revolving door of quarterbacks they've had, and they think they found their guy on Russell Wilson, but the play just hasn't been there. It hasn't been consistent. You could attribute to a lot of things. It'd be a new coach, new offensive system, having to get connected with his players, his receivers, his offensive line, all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, Russ just hasn't looked like Russ. He hasn't looked like how he used to look. And so it concerns me because the Broncos, again, gave this guy a 5-year, $245 million deal. So it's really concerning because a majority of your money is going into him, and locked up to him. And if they don't get this turned around quickly by next season, it could get real ugly for the Broncos. So it's I don't know. They probably say Nathaniel Hackett's job by being at least competitive against the Chiefs yesterday. They made it a close game at one point, but then again, Patrick Mahomes, what can you do? And so the big thing for me there is, they made it competitive, which probably saved Hackett's job. But you're locked up to Russell Wilson for the next couple of years. And so if you're not able to figure out whatever it is haunting this offense, whatever kind of hex is on this team, it's got to get lifted, and they got to figure it out soon. So otherwise they're going to find themselves just probably disappearing off the face of the earth. So to put it into light terms. So that's just something I think is going to be interesting to watch out for over these last couple weeks of the season, which you can't believe the season's almost already over. So, big thing there. But tonight on Monday Night Football, we have the Cardinals and the Patriots. Arizona, they're looking to get back on track too. Trying to get another football game here to win, and the Patriots as well. Offense has just been sputtering this year under Matt Patricia and Joe Judge calling the offensive plays. And I tell Patriots fans this all the time. When you have a special teams coach and a guy who's been on the defense almost his whole entire career, calling the offensive plays, you're going to get what you get. That's just the simple thing about it. So, it is what it is. But we'll catch that game at 8 o'clock tonight on ESPN, Monday Night Football, Cardinals, Patriots. And thank you guys for tuning in to Jay's Fifth Down Football Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Jaden. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check us out. Subscribe, like, comment, share. We're on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. You guys have a great day.